Hi crocheters! Today I'm going to show you how to crochet an angel. This angel's name is Eden and she's one of the 11 free patterns I have on my website. If you'd like to follow along with a printed version of the pattern, if you go to embakadesignCrochet.com/Eden-angel-pattern, you can print this off using the printer friendly button at the top of the post. For the project, you will need medium weight yarn. Today I'm using Red Heart medium weight yarn, and I'm going to use a 4mm hook from Clover for the angel, and then for her halo, I use a 2.25mm hook, and I use Bow bow wire, but you can substitute a paper clip or a piece of wire or a pipe cleaner, whatever you prefer. You could even crochet it and then use glue to stiffen the ring at the top. So let's begin. For this project, I start with a double magic ring, but you don't have to do that. If you prefer, you can use a magic loop, or you can do a chain 3 and then slip stitch to the first chain to make a ring and then work into that ring. For this project, I begin with a double magic ring. So wrap the yarn around your fingers twice, pinch to hold the yarn together, slide your hook under the 2 loops, yarn over, pull up a loop, chain 1. Now work 6 single crochets into this ring. And this is where you can substitute a chain 3 slip stitch to make a ring and work into that ring instead. So work 6 single crochets. Now we're going to pull this yarn tail to see which of these loops was moving. So it's this underside one. So pull it again just a little and see which end it moves towards. So it's moving towards this side here. Pull the opposite end. It'll close that first ring. And now pull the yarn tail again to close the second ring. That makes it nice and snug. Now that's our chain 1 that we started with. So we're going to skip that to begin round 2. At the end of round 1, you have 6 single crochet stitches. For round 2, you will need a stitch marker. So you can use the kind that I have here. I can leave a link in the comments. These are the Clover locking stitch markers. They're my very favorite. I find that they are very strong and they let you open and close them multiple times and they don't break. You could use a paper clip, you could use a safety pin, a piece of yarn that you have in your stash, whatever you prefer. So for round 2, you will need a stitch marker. We're going to begin round 2 with making 2 single crochets in the first stitch. This here is that chain that you did at the beginning of the round, last round. We're skipping over that. So work 2 single crochets in each stitch around. Place your stitch marker in the first stitch that you work to mark your place. So 2 single crochets in each of the stitches around. At the end of round 2, you will have 12 single crochet stitches. For round 3, work 2 single crochet stitches in the first stitch. Replace your stitch marker. Work 1 single crochet in the next stitch. And now repeat that all the way around. Work 2 single crochets in the next stitch, then 1 single crochet in the stitch after. So 2, and then 1. At the end of round 3, you will have 18 single crochet stitches. For round 4, we're working 2 single crochet stitches in the first stitch, one single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. So 2 single crochets in the next stitch, then 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet. And we work that all the way around, so 2, 1, 1. At the end of round 4, you have 24 single crochet stitches. For the next 3 rounds, we're going to work 1 single crochet in each of the stitches around. So for round 5, round 6, and round 7, work 1 stitch in each stitch around. At the end of round 5, you have 24 single crochet stitches. For round 6, work 1 single crochet in each stitch around. At the end of round 6, you have 24 single crochet stitches. For round 7, we're going to work 1 single crochet stitch in each stitch around. At the end of round 7, you have 24 single crochet stitches. For round 8, we begin with a single crochet 2 together. Now, there's 2 ways that you can make this stitch. When I work my projects that are worked in rounds like amigurumi, I work them under the front loop only and in a special way. I'll show you the regular single crochet 2 together first, if you'd like to use that method. For a regular single crochet 2 together, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. Insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And that's a standard single crochet 2 together. The way I make a single crochet 2 together for my amigurumi projects, I use an invisible decrease. And to do that, it's actually quite easy. All you do is slide your hook under the front loop of the next stitch and then rotate it to slide under the front loop of the stitch after. So you'll have 1 front loop from each of the stitches on your hook. Yarn over and pull through both of those front loops, and then yarn over and pull through those 2 loops that you had left. Now, the reason I prefer that, it's less bulky, so you won't have a bump here like you would with a single crochet 2 together the standard way, because you're only working in the front loops and those are hidden inside. And because it only gives you 1 complete stitch. So it looks exactly like this stitch. I'll go over here. This stitch here, instead of a big bulky combination with an extra yarn over. Okay, so for round 8, the first stitch is our single crochet 2 together. You can use either method. And then we work 1 single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. So 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet. Now work a single crochet 2 together. And then 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet. Single crochet 2 together. One single crochet, 1 single crochet, and work that all the way around. At the end of round 8, you will have 18 single crochet stitches. For round 9, we're going to work a single crochet 2 together. And then 1 single crochet in the stitch after the single crochet 2 together. And we repeat that all the way around. So single crochet 2 together, and 1 single crochet in the stitch after. Single crochet 2 together, and then 1 single crochet. Single crochet 2 together, 1 single crochet, At the end of round 9, you have 12 single crochet stitches. Now this is where I would fill the head with polyfill. So grab a little bit of your stuffing This is the only part of the angel that we add polyfill to, just the head. You don't want to overstuff it. For round 10, we're working a single crochet 2 together all the way around. So single crochet 2 together. At the end of round 10, you have 6 single crochet stitches. For round 11, we work 1 front post single crochet in each of those stitches around. At the end of round 11, we have 6 front post single crochet stitches. For round 12, we work 2 front post single crochet stitches in each of the stitches around. At the end of round 12, you have 12 front post single crochet stitches. For round 13, work 1 single crochet in the first stitch, two single crochets in the next stitch, one single crochet in each of the next 5 stitches, two single crochets in the next stitch, and 1 single crochet in each of the last 4 stitches. At the end of round 13, you have 14 single crochet stitches. For round 14, work 1 single crochet in the first stitch, chain 3, skip 2 stitches, and work 1 single crochet in each of the next 5 stitches. Chain 3, skip 2 stitches, and work 1 single crochet in each of the last 4 stitches. At the end of round 14, you have 10 single crochet stitches and 2 chain 3 spaces. For round 15, work 1 single crochet in the first stitch, work 1 single crochet in the back loop of each of the next 3 chains, work 1 single crochet in each of the next 5 stitches, work 1 single crochet in the back loop of each of the next 3 chains, work 1 single crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. At the end of round 15, you have 16 single crochet stitches. For round 16, work 2 single crochets in the first stitch, work 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Work 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and work 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Repeat that all the way around. Work 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Work 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and 1 single crochet in each of the last 3 stitches. At the end of round 16, you have 20 single crochet stitches. For round 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21, the next 5 rounds, work a single crochet in each stitch around, so 1 in each stitch. So 5 rounds of single crochet. Round 17, work 1 single crochet in each stitch. At the end of round 17, you have 20 single crochet stitches. For round 18, work 1 single crochet in each stitch around. At the end of round 18, you have 20 single crochet stitches. For round 19, work 1 single crochet in each stitch around. At the end of round 19, you have 20 single crochet stitches. For round 21, work 1 single crochet in each stitch around. At the end of round 20, you have 20 single crochet stitches. For round 21, work 1 single crochet in each stitch around. At the end of round 21, you have 20 single crochet stitches. For round 22, work 1 single crochet in each stitch around. At the end of round 22, we need to slip stitch to the first stitch to join. So where the stitch marker is, so slip stitch, and you can make that tightly because we're not going to be working into it. It's just to set up our next round, which is in double crochet. And now chain 2. This chain 2 is not counted as a stitch. At the end of round 22, you'll have your 20 single crochet stitches. For round 23, we're going to work 2 double crochets in each stitch around, and we're not counting that chain 2. So make your first 2 in the first stitch. So 2 double crochets. And make 2 double crochets in each stitch around. At the end of round 23, you have 40 double crochet stitches. Now we need to slip stitch to this first stitch. And chain 2. For round 24 and 25, we're working 1 front post double crochet in every stitch around. So for round 24, we're going to make a front post double crochet around every stitch. At the end of round 24, slip stitch to the first stitch to join, chain 2. At the end of round 24, you have 40 front post double crochet stitches. For round 25, work 1 front post double crochet in each stitch around. At the end of round 25, you have 40 front post double crochet stitches. Slip stitch to the first stitch to join, chain 2. For round 26, we work 1 front post double crochet in each stitch around, After round 26, you have 40 front post double crochet stitches. Slip stitch to the first stitch to join, and chain 1. For round 27, work 1 back post single crochet in each stitch around. So you insert your hook from behind your work around the post of the stitch and make a single crochet. Mark the first stitch and work 1 back post single crochet in each stitch around. After round 27, you have 40 back post single crochet stitches. Slip stitch to the first back post single crochet, that's the one we marked with the stitch. Chain 2 and work 1 front post double crochet stitch in each stitch around. At the end of round 28, you have 40 front post double crochet stitches. Slip stitch to the first stitch to join. Chain 2. For round 29, work 1 front post double crochet in each stitch around. At the end of round 29, you have 40 front post double crochet stitches. Slip stitch to the first stitch to join and chain 1. For round 30, work 1 back post single crochet in each stitch around. At the end of round 30, you have 40 back post single crochet stitches. Slip stitch to the first stitch to join, chain 2. For round 31, work 1 front post double crochet in each stitch around, At the end of round 31, you have 40 front post double crochet stitches. Slip stitch to the first stitch to join, chain 2, and work 1 front post double crochet in each stitch around, At the end of round 32, you have 40 front post double crochet stitches. Slip stitch to the first stitch to join. Chain 1. And this is our last round, round 33. We work 1 back post single crochet in each stitch around. At the end of round 33, you have 40 back post single crochets. Slip stitch to the first stitch to join. Chain 1 to finish off. We will weave this in at the end. Next, we need to make her arm. We're going to chain 26. Skip the first chain and make 1 single crochet in each stitch across. At the end of row 1, you have 25 single crochet stitches. Chain 1, turn your work, and work 1 single crochet in each stitch across. Chain 1 at the end of the row. At the end of row 2, you have 25 single crochet stitches. If you'd like to make the slightly wider arm that I normally use for the angels, you work 1 more row of single crochet now. So work row 3, 1 single crochet in each stitch across. I'm using a thinner angel arm for this angel, so I stop after row 2, fold my work in half, this way, along the horizontal, and we're going to work 1 slip stitch through the first stitch of each of these rows to close the arm. So 1 slip stitch in the next stitch and the corresponding stitch on your foundation chain. And then try to line them up as best you can, working 1 slip stitch through both layers. and chain 1 to finish off. And we'll sew these ends in at the end. For the angel's wings, I begin with a double magic ring. You can use an alternate start, so a magic ring or a chain 3, slip stitch to create a ring. Wrap your yarn around your fingers twice. Place your hook under the 2 loops and pick up that loop. Chain 1. And now chain 2 more to make your first double crochet. We're counting this chain 3 as 1 double crochet. Make 2 double crochets. Chain 2. And 2 double crochets. At the end of row 1, you have 5 double crochet stitches and 1 chain 2 space. Chain 4. Turn your work. The first chain 4 is counting as 1 treble crochet. Make 2 more treble crochets in the first stitch. Make 2 double crochets in the next stitch. Make 2 double crochets in the next stitch. Make 3 half double crochets in the chain 2 space. One half double crochet in the next stitch, and 1 slip stitch in each of the last 2 stitches. And the last one is in that top of the chain 3 from the first row. At the end of row 2, you have 3 treble crochets, 2 double crochets, 4 half double crochets, and 2 slip stitches. For row 3, we're going to skip the first stitch, work 1 single crochet in each of the next 5 stitches, one half double crochet in the next stitch, 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, two treble crochets in the next stitch, and 1 double treble in the last stitch. At the end of row 3, you have 1 double treble, 2 trebles, 2 double crochets, 1 half double crochet, and 5 single crochets. For row 4, chain 4, turn your work, skip the first stitch, work 1 slip stitch in the next stitch, chain 4, work 1 slip stitch in the next stitch, chain 4, work 1 slip stitch in the next stitch, chain 4, work 1 slip stitch in the next stitch, chain 4, work 1 slip stitch in the next stitch, chain 4, make your next slip stitch in the next stitch, chain 4, slip stitch in the next stitch, chain 4, slip stitch in the next stitch, chain 4, slip stitch in the next stitch, and chain 4, slip stitch in the last stitch. At the end of row 4, you will have 10 chain 4 spaces and 10 slip stitches. Chain 1 to finish off. Now leave a little bit extra yarn for this because you need to be able to sew this to your angel. To close the ring, pull the yarn end and see which end moves. So it's moving on this side here. Pull the opposite end to close the first ring. And now pull the yarn tail to close the second ring. Make a double magic ring. Chain 3. Make 1 double crochet. Chain 2 and make 3 double crochets. At the end of row 1, you have 5 double crochets and 1 chain 2 space. For row 2, chain 1 to turn your work, slip stitch into the first 2 stitches, make 1 half double crochet in the next stitch, make 3 half double crochets in the chain 2 space, make 2 double crochets in the next stitch, make 3 treble crochets in the last stitch, At the end of row 2, you have 3 trebles, 2 double crochets, 4 half double crochets, and 2 slip stitches. For round 3, chain 5. This counts as a double treble. Make 2 trebles in the next stitch. Make 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. Make 1 half double crochet in the next stitch. Make 1 single crochet in each of the next 5 stitches. And slip stitch into the last stitch. At the end of row 3, you have 1 double treble, 2 trebles, 2 double crochets, 1 half double crochet, 5 single crochets, and 1 slip stitch. For row 4, chain 4, skip the first stitch and slip stitch into the next stitch, and repeat that all the way across. Chain 4, slip stitch into the next stitch, chain 4, slip stitch in the next stitch, chain 4, slip 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 stitch, and chain 4, and slip stitch into the next stitch. There we go. At the end of row 4, you have 10 chain 4 spaces and 10 slip stitches. Chain 1 to finish off. And now we close the ring. So pull the yarn tail, see which loop moves and on which end. So it's moving in this side on this loop, so pull the opposite end to close the ring and pull the tail to close the other ring. So now we have your 2 wings. Place those aside. Now the last step is to make the halo. I'm using the Bow Dabra bow wire and your 2.25mm hook, and try to let the hook control the size of the loop. Chain 20, and then finish off. Pull the end through and tighten that final stitch. Now we're going to weave the end through the 7th chain from the opposite end. So count over 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then move this end through, the one you finished off with. Thread that through that 7th chain to create the top of the halo, the ring. And twist. I hold this so I don't pull on those loops. Twist the other ends together to make a post. Like so. Trim your end so it's the same length. Now we need to do some weaving in of ends. So for her dress, you need to weave this end in. And you need to weave the ends in on the arm. Find the 2 armholes and thread the arm through. And if you like, you can tack the hands together, or you can give her something to hold on to, or you can leave them loose at her sides. And next we're going to do the wings. Weave in one yarn end on each of the wings. And we'll use the other for assembly. Now we're going to find the mid back for the angel. And if you check here around her armhole line, there are 5 stitches, so around the 3rd stitch, I always like to just put 1 stitch for each wing to see if I like where they are before I put the whole wing on. So if you like where they've been placed, finish weaving the wings in. I usually only weave in this section here at the center of her back and leave the base free. If you'd like them higher so you can see more above her shoulders, you can raise them a little bit more on the back. So continue weaving in your ends. You can open up the chain loops with the end of your hook. And just give it a little tiny pull. It'll open it up a little bit for you. You can weave the remaining string from the wings on the inside of her body. Okay, so all we have to do now is place her halo. Thread these 2 twisted ends onto a needle. And now we're going to place this. So pick where you liked the halo the best from behind her head. So if you want it to be about mid-ray. And then we thread it through and down out through the neck. Now try to do this slowly so you don't mess with the top ring. Okay. And depending on how high you want the halo above her head, you can bring this more in. Just be careful to do it slowly. There we go. And then we just trim this excess off. Thank you for following along to make your crochet angel Eden. I hope this tutorial was helpful. Please remember to hit the like button and to subscribe to my channel for more free crochet content like this. Thanks so much and have a great day.